Yo, IBM Hoodlum tapping back in, man. Y'all already know I'm only hitting y'all with the straight facts, and everything we do over here is authentic, man. We got some content for y'all today, of course, regarding Rat 100. And before we get to that content, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys are not following me on Instagram, slide over to Instagram and drop your boy a follow. That's IBMH004LUM on Instagram. So let's get straight to it, man. If you guys have not been paying attention to this cat, Rat 100, man, he is losing the internet war so bad with me, Sharice, and Luce Cannon that his whole team and him as well have just leaned towards flat out lies. And what they've been doing with these lies, they have been running it past bigger platforms to control the narrative with the lie. People like Akademiks, people like No Jumper with Adam22. Now, when you get these lies onto these channels, you got thousands of people listening to it. And, you know, the average mind feels like, man, if it's on No Jumper with Adam22, it must be authentic. Oh, if Akademiks is talking about it, it must be authentic. Crazy part about Akademiks is this man told us 3 or 4 days ago that he wasn't going to touch it no more. Sharice Mills hit him up and say, hey, you should get on the phone with IBM Hoodlum so you can know the truth. He told her, well, I'm not touching it no more because Wack told me to stay away from the Luce Cannon Wack situation. And then boom, we look up, here it is. He's over there pushing another narrative for Wack 100 about the whole Lil Durk situation. Now, mind you, Sunday service, you already know, about a week and a half ago, you know, we had Lil Durk on Sunday service. Now, mind you, when that was, you know, presented to me, because I'm the one that do the flyer for Sunday service, at that time, maybe 2 or 3 days before Sunday, it was just supposed to be Lil Durk and Tia Cripps. If you guys don't know what Tia Cripps is, I think she's the lady that trademarked the whole Crenshaw stuff with, you know, the Nipsey Hussle, you know, slogan, whatever the case may be. All right. It was just supposed to be those two. I didn't get the call until Sunday early morning to add Akademiks to the flyer. So Akademiks was not supposed to be a part of this until the last minute. I don't know what happened leading up to him getting on the flyer and getting on Sunday service, but I know he was added a couple days later. Okay. Now, if you guys been paying attention, Wack 100 obviously felt some type of way. He's seen Akademiks was actually doing Sunday service. He's decided to blow his phone up. He decided to text Akademiks and say certain things to promote people's name. Like, come on, man. I feel like Akademiks, you're biased in a way because the simple fact that you only want to hear what Wack says and you only want to push his narrative. I understand you have a relationship with him, but to push flat out lies over there with your community, if that's how y'all get down, so be it. But anyways, Wacks' new trick has been to, you know, put things on Luce Cannon that are absolutely lies. And one of his new narratives is, you know, Luce Cannon is working. He must have a handler. He has a case that's still pending adjudication from 2007, meaning the case is still open. And if it's still open from 2007, then he must be working. Remember, he made the post, okay? He put it on Instagram. And there's the case number. There's the file date, 12/12/2007, pending adjudication, Rancho Cucamonga court location. But he wrote, this is the status today of a 2007 case, still registers as pending adjudication in 2025, meaning still open. You guys know the rest. We're not going to read all of it. But this is how they spin their narrative, right? Because when they present this to you, he doesn't, you know, put the other parts of this case on his thing. He doesn't do that. If you slide over on his post, he just gives you the definition of pending adjudication and what just regular adjudication means. Pending means, hey, they haven't found an outcome. Adjudicated means there is an outcome. So when you go over here and you look up this case, right, on the front page, it clearly says pending adjudication, okay? This is a clear error, and I'll show you why it's a clear error, and the courts can clear this up if somebody calls down there and say, hey, this has been done and over with. Why does it say that? Court location, Rancho Cucamonga. This is what you've seen on Wack 100's post. Now, what they don't show you is the charges and the disposition. The disposition is basically saying, hey, was the outcome of the charges in the case. And it clearly shows that everything was adjudicated in this case, which shows this is an error. So let's go over here to charges and disposition. Now, when you look at these charges, right, the charges on this case, there's the case number, all right, is attempt grand theft of personal property. Not guilty. The outcome of that disposition April 18th, 2018, dismissed. Felony, forgery, not guilty, April 18th, dismissed. Unlawful use identifying information, not guilty, dismissed. Felony burglary, not guilty, April 18th, dismissed. Okay. Forgery, possession ID, guilty. April 18th, 2018, convicted, sentenced to county jails. Okay. Converted confinement means he went straight to the jail, had to serve 180 days, and then got out with formal probation, supervised probation. Okay. Now, that right there shows that everything here was adjudicated. There was even time served. There was 180 days time served, and there was probation given as well on this case. Okay. Everything in this case has been adjudicated. And this is what Wack 100 doesn't show you guys, because this is how he tries to spin and control his narrative as far as the lying. Okay. The case is done and over with. Like I said, there's a clear error on the front page. They don't show you this page for a reason. Now, if you look at this case, there's multiple charges, right? And you can see there was 1, 2, 3, 4 charges dismissed, 1 pled guilty to. So there are 5 charges total, okay? Meaning, if you ever been in this type of situation, what this says is 5 charges, we're going to offer a deal. When they offered the deal, they say, hey, if you plead guilty to this felony charge and take the 6 months with the probation after, we will drop every other charge. And you can tell that was the deal that was offered. That's why on the same court date, 4/18/2008, everything was dismissed but 1, meaning they offered him a deal to plead guilty to this 1 charge and they'll drop the rest. He was convicted. He was sentenced the same day to county jail, and they took him from the courtroom to the jail. Converted confinement, meaning they walked him from the courtroom, if he probably was in jail or bailed out, I don't know, right from the courtroom right back to jail. Did the 180 days, formal probation, supervised. End date February 17th, 2011. Everything in this case has been adjudicated. This is an error. Now, mind you, once again, this is Wack trying to push this narrative about Luce Cannon must be working. This case is done and over with. These guys are literally grasping at straws. They're trying to find anything they can try to run past these bigger outlets so people will believe it. Anybody with common sense will go look up this case and see that all of this has been adjudicated. All right. On top of that, another thing I want to bring to y'all attention, Luce Cannon has said that this is not him. This is when his brother, his own blood brother, his twin brother, who actually has damn near the same name. Termaine Ashley Williams is Luce Cannon. Jermaine Ashley Williams is his identical twin brother. His identical twin brother has a history of using his information. So when he said, hey, this is not me, this is his brother, this ain't even my charges, because Wack puts it out there as this is Cannon. Of course, it says Termaine. This is when his brother used his name. Now, mind you, let's rewind a little bit. Not too long ago, Luce Cannon had a bail hearing. And in that bail hearing, you know, there are certain people, snitch hunted to be exact, came out and made some content and said Luce Cannon was snitching on his brother in the courtroom. Luce Cannon never said anything about his brother in the courtroom. It was Luce Cannon's attorney who brought up Luce Cannon's brother in the courtroom. And what his attorney said was, hey, a lot of the charges from his history that the DA is presenting to the judge to not give him bail is not him. It's his twin brother that used his name. Okay. Now, when the judge looked into it, they actually confirmed that these charges are from the twin brother, Jermaine. Okay. The judge actually went over all the charges, and the judge marked off every charge in red that was used against Cannon in his bail hearing that happened to be his brother's charges. Okay. Everything you see in red right here, all these red lines, these are all the charges his twin brother used against him, used as his name when he will get locked up. And they tried to use it against Cannon. They found out, hey, this is not Cannon. This is his twin brother. Now, mind you, I want you to look at this real quick, right? Cannon said that these charges are his brothers. You know, this is the so-called pending adjudication case that Wack 100 is trying to say that's Cannons, and he must be working because it says pending adjudication, which is an error because you can see that it was cleaned up, jail time was served, and probation was given, and that was 2011. Okay, shit is done and over with. Everything's adjudicated. But when you look at these charges, right? When you go over here to about right here, right? Okay. Let me blow this up again so make sure. If you see all these charges right here, these charges that Cannon said are his brothers are going to be right here. 12/11/2007, marked off in red, all his brother. Look at the charges: burglary, okay, use of others' ID, possession of driver's license, commit forgery, grand theft, property, possession of stolen vehicle, take vehicle without owner's consent, get credit, use of others' ID. All these charges are exactly right here. Burglary, identifying information. It's the same exact case. Forgery, unlawful use identification, attempt, the same charges right here. And if you look at the date of when this case was adjudicated, right here, 4/18/2008, dismissed. 4/18/2008, guilty, felony, sentenced to 6 months in custody and 36 months of probation. This is what Wack has put on the internet to make Luce Cannon look like he's cooperating and he's an informant or he's working with the feds. This is what this cat does. Wack 100 is an habitual, pathological liar, and he uses his bigger outlets and utensils like adam22 and akademiks to run his fake narrative. Okay, all this is about jealousy over Lil Durk being on Sunday service, which they try to spin that too, because he is currently trying to make it out as that was a play. They lied to you and said that they can get an interview with you with Durk, and Durk agreed to do Sunday service because he was told he was getting an interview with Wack, which is all cap. Now, mind you, right? Let's look up No Jumper real quick. I want to point this out to y'all real fast, okay? Now, we all know Lil Durk went to court yesterday, okay? He went to court, and let's find what No Jumper posted about what happened at his court date. Boom, right? Let's see. Hold on. Now, there was a No Jumper post, right? And here it is. This is from his court date yesterday and the outcome of what happened. Now, let's read here. Because Akademiks made a video and he read this same thing, and Wack responded. No bail for Lil Durk. The judge said nothing has changed to warrant release. She also referenced a report that Durk is violating federal custody rules by using other inmates' phone accounts and engaging in three-way calls, meaning somebody reported him either being on somebody else's phone or engaging in three-way calls. Now, mind you, Durk has been to court before this court date. And if you go look at the outcome of that, when they denied his bail the first time, there was no reports of any type of illegal phone use that goes against federal custody rules. Mind you, let's go back. I brought this up the other day. Remember, Wack has always been known to sabotage anything that Luce Cannon has going. Any type of big play he has, Wack will try to sabotage it. Now, we go back to a couple days ago, right? And I want to show you guys something, right? Remember, the day before Wack 100 makes this post, the call is being recorded. Maybe he needs to go to an ear doctor. In this post, he tried to insinuate that them doing three-way calls might lead to somebody getting reported because they're on a phone being recorded on a three-way call, basically saying, hey, you guys are going to get yourself in trouble. Well, this was the day after R&B, which is Wack 100's girlfriend. Let me find that text message real quick. Give me a second. R&B sent this text message to Sharice Mills a day before that post, okay? And this is what she texted Sharice Mills. If he wants to keep his phone privileges, he should keep my name out his mouth. I'm not playing. The fake don't bring R&B, and it's not believable. So basically, in other words, she's saying that she was going to report the phone calls. Okay. This came a day before Wack tried to cover his tracks with this post. This post came the next morning. So this is the cover up for what R&B was going to do. If you guys don't know, R&B, Wack 100 girlfriend, is the one that reported the phone calls. And he uses her to third party snitch because, oh, she's a civilian. She's the one that reported the phone calls. Durk had no issue with anything else until Durk got involved with Cannon. And now he's trying to spin the narrative and say, well, Cannon lined him up by putting him on that phone, when in fact, Wack 100 girlfriend R&B is the one that reported the phone calls, okay? And he makes this post the next morning to try to say, well, you guys are going to get yourself in trouble because they are recording you. This is their cover up. This is what he do. They third party snitch. Remember, I told you he had R&B go file a police report on me. And then he had Gigi go file a police report on me, okay? This is what this guy does. And now he's on Akademiks saying, hey, they lined Durk up by putting him on that phone call. And come to find out, R&B is the one that reported the phone call, okay? This is how these people get down. Now, mind you, let me bring this up. Jermaine Ashley Williams, this is Luce Cannon's brother. Look at all his aliases. Look at the names he uses when he gets in trouble. All of them are his brother's name, Luce Cannon's name, okay? This is facts, what I'm putting on the screen. Y'all need to pay attention. I understand that we're not as big as Akademiks over here. We're not as big as adam22. He is clearly taking advantage of that by putting out these lies against Cannon to run his narrative so people can be like, oh, Cannon's working. I see all over Facebook, oh, Cannon's paperwork party. But anybody that know anything about paperwork would clearly go in and say, oh, this is a huge error. Wack 100 is running with cap. This case is done and over with. Time was served on it. Probation was given. Okay. Now, another thing, they ran another fake play with the attorney, okay? The attorney has not spoken to Wack. The attorney already Sharice Mills contacted the attorney. She sent the actual YouTube post to him with them acting like they were the butter teeth dude ghost that need to brush his teeth from the 100 side, acting like he was on a phone with an attorney. That was all a play. That is not Luce Cannon's attorney on that phone, okay? Sharice Mills texted the attorney and was like, look at this. He listened to it. He was like, that's not possible. He can't get on the phone and speak on anybody else's case to no random dude named Ghost, okay? Don't nobody even know who this dude is. He's a 100 side dweeb. And you mean to tell me that somebody that's working on a federal case in a RICO is going to sit on the phone with a dude that he don't even know and just tell him about somebody else's case? Cap. I need y'all to wake up. Pay attention. And like I said, Wack 100 is using his utensils to run these false narratives, and he's using his girlfriend to third party snitch. There has not been no issue with any phone calls until a text message gets shot out saying, hey, if motherfuckers want to keep their phone privileges, they better keep my name out of their mouth. What do you know? Durk goes to court. There's a report of phone calls being made with 3-ways and other people's account. Wake up and smell the coffee, y'all. Wack 100 is all cap and wolf tickets. This is what they do because they're losing the internet war. And I keep telling you guys, facts outweigh the lies. When the dust settles, you guys are going to come back and say IBM Hoodlum, Sharice and Luce Cannon was absolutely right. Trust me, I know Luce Cannon runs plays and he lies about a lot of stuff for entertainment. But I'm not going to condone the lie if it's a lie. I put the facts on the screen. Now Wack 100 is using Akademiks, who clearly, obviously doesn't want to speak to me because he takes Wack 100 side. I feel like at this point, Akademiks don't even like Luce Cannon, because if you did, you would want to speak to the other party so we could lay the facts on the table and you can go and clearly see that everything I'm putting out there is 100% accurate. These dudes have not even said Luce Cannon's lawyer's name. I asked the dude Ghost, since y'all spoke to his attorney, what's the attorney's name? And not one time has Ghost or anybody over there has been able to actually say his attorney's name. Pay attention, y'all. I'm IBM Hoodlum and I'm out. Make sure you guys like and share and subscribe to this video. Follow me on Instagram as well. That's IBM Hoodlum, IBM 8004 LUM. Peace.